I honestly didn't think that I would be on here sharing a story like this, but here I am, with my own peculiar story to share. This is the story of how I exacted revenge against my horrid mother-in-law, and eventually cut her out of me and my baby's life. My name is Mia, and I gave birth to my daughter Macy 1 year ago. I feel like enough time has passed for me to be able to comfortably share this story, as I was going through a lot. But now that I'm in the clear and well away from everything that went down, I'm ready to share this. It was supposed to be one of the greatest days of my life after my sweet 16th birthday, my graduation ceremony, my engagement party, my wedding, and my dinner party that was to celebrate my landing a well-deserved promotion. This was the next momentous thing to celebrate with unbridled love and care and comfort. Any mother would know that I'm talking about giving birth to my first child. I have always wanted to be a mother, which made the idea of finally meeting my baby and introducing them to the world an even sweeter anticipation. Unfortunately, though, I didn't get the picture-perfect labor story. Rather, I got something that for a very long time left a bitter and sour taste in my mouth. It all started when the doctor said, "It's a girl!" Oh my goodness, oh wow, I'm speechless, she's gorgeous. Let's see Mom meet her bundle of joy. Oh, my sweet baby, I love you so much. I don't even know you, but I'm in love with you. Mom, come meet your granddaughter. Her name is Macy. All of us wondered why she hesitated to step forward and greet the new addition to the family. As she approached, we could see a clear and deep frown on her face. This all made us turn our heads in confusion. You witch! What? What have you done? You've ruined everything. The doctors and nurses inside took the hint and promptly left the room so that we could deal with this uprising commotion as a family. But honestly, part of me wished that they stayed. I knew you were a curse to our family. How could you birth a girl? A girl! Are you crazy? John, what is she talking about? Mom, what in the world are you talking about? Now look, the baby is crying. I don't care. That wench isn't any granddaughter of mine. Yuck. John, why aren't you as furious as I am? Your father is going to be livid once he hears of this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm still coming down from the painkillers, but Martha, right now you're not making any sense at all. Please, what is the issue here? Why aren't you excited to see Macy? Why are you doing this? I could just spit on both you and that baby. Okay, it's time to go. Before I could inquire any further, let alone shout back at the old hag for the awful things she was saying, John quickly escorted her out of the room, all the while trying to muffle her incessant ranting about tradition and curses and regret. I had no idea what she was on about. I thought that the old lady finally lost it, but as I would come to find out later, she wasn't crazy in a cuckoo way. She was crazy in a very evil and malicious way. Instead of celebrating this moment with my dear ones, I was crying in that delivery room with my baby in my hands, who was also mirroring my upset nature. What an awful way to introduce such a sweet and innocent girl into this already cruel world. A couple of days passed and I was discharged from the hospital. Things were awkward between John and me, and we never got the chance to properly discuss what happened, as I was still healing from the birth. We got in the house, laid little Macy to sleep, and decided to talk about what happened. There's something that I need to tell you, and the reason why I haven't told you about it till now is that it's the most stupid thing to exist in our family history. I don't even know why this is such an issue for my mother, when everyone else doesn't mind it. What's going on, John? Why did your mother act like that, and why is she sending me death threats? She's still sending those to you? She promised me she'd stop. Ugh, I don't even know how to deal with that woman. Tell me now. Well, when my mom married into the family, she was made wary of an ancient and ancestral family tradition of ours. For some reason, the capital name has always had boys, at least for the past 7 generations. The myth is that once you marry into the Capito family, you will be destined to have boys. And according to that tradition, having boys is a blessing because, well, they carry the family name, and they're stronger and they're wiser. It's a stupid and misogynistic practice. That's why I didn't even think to tell you about it. And honestly, my family doesn't even mind having either gender. It just so happens that I only have brothers, and my dad also only has brothers. And my grandpa only had brothers. It was just a fun piece of trivia to throw at friends and acquaintances. But my mom, what was meant to be a light-hearted story about the Capito family became an obsession. Hold up a second. Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that your mom really believes in all of that mumbo-jumbo, and she didn't get the memo that you all no longer subscribe to that? Pretty much. And the unfortunate thing is that if boys are meant to be blessings, then it obviously means that girls are supposed to be curses. My mom thinks that your womb is cursed or something because she just cannot fathom a 7-generation streak getting broken now. She believes that something wrong is happening. But it's like, it was bound to happen, you know? That's ridiculous. Tell her to grow up and get over herself. Babe, I've tried. I tried telling my dad to get through to her, but she won't budge. I honestly don't know what else to do. I was so furious. I didn't even know what to do with myself. This woman made me feel like absolute garbage for the past 3 days when I was supposed to be resting and healing and enjoying some skin-to-skin with my newborn. Instead, my mind was racing and I was unable to sleep thinking about that horrible face she made when she looked at my daughter for the first time. It definitely looked like she had some murderous intent. I don't care what you do, but I need you to know that we cannot afford to ruin Macy's childhood with a sick and twisted grandma. I know. She's crazy. I'll continue to talk to her, okay? A month had gone by, and I still hadn't received an apology from that wretched woman. At the same time, however, I also didn't receive any more annoyances and death threats. So I guess you got to take the good with the bad. I was just grateful that I was now able to focus my full attention on Macy. The fears and dreams I had of a devilized Martha terrorizing my child had subsided. That was until we got an unexpected message from her. Martha took the liberty of emailing both John and me with a surprisingly sweet and warm message. It read, "Dearest John, dearest Mia, I would like to extend an olive branch. I'm sorry for the things I said. Please come to a family dinner. I've invited extended family members alike. Please let us all sit and properly celebrate the new life that has been graciously bestowed on us. Please allow me to apologize properly in person. With love always, Mom." Okay, so the apology could have been a bit more sincere. Way more sincere. But I think she's being genuine, babe. I don't know, babe. It seems kind of fishy. Why didn't she call? Why didn't she come over? I don't know, Mia. But I do know that I want our daughter to grow up to be a loving and forgiving person. We have to at least try and make our daughter know her grandma, even though she's acting crazy right now. At least she is interested in hashing things out. Fine, you're right. I get you. Let's do it. Later on in the week, the family dinner that Martha was hosting was finally here. I was actually feeling somewhat excited. This would be a good chance for a good chunk of the extended family members to meet Macy, as they didn't get the chance to do so earlier in the month. Both John and I arrived at the event, and we were happy to be swarmed with hordes of family members covering us with their praises and coos and hugs and kisses. Both the kids and the older generations of the family were acting the same. They all felt blessed to introduce Macy to this family. To say that we were showered with unending love from them would be an understatement, but a family member who was missing from the group was, of course, Martha. She was tucked away in the dark corners, watching from a distance. Maybe she's a bit apprehensive to approach us after the debacle that happened last time. Why don't you go over to her with Macy and try and reintroduce the two to each other? You're right. I approached Martha and I saw a growing look of worry and tension grow on her face. It's okay, Martha. We believe in second chances. Come and meet your granddaughter for the first time again. I think it's time for us to eat. Come, everyone. Dinner is ready. That was weird. Why was she acting so nervous? She scurried away as if I was approaching her with a bomb in my hands and not my sweet baby Macy. Anyways, once we were all settled at the dinner table with Macy and her bassinet near my side, we said grace and began to eat. But instead of thinking that I would enjoy my meal, all of us were in for a shock. Martha stood up and said, "Attention, everyone. May I please have your attention? Thank you. As you all know, our daughter Mia has given birth to a child, and I wanted to gather you all here today to just discuss the level of disrespect and disgust that I have obtained from all of this." What are you talking about, Martha? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with you? How dare you bring this monstrosity into our home, into our lives? Monstrosity? Mom, stop it right now. The fact that you won't stand up and defend me just shows that you don't care about the capital name. Family, listen up. For the past 7 generations, has this household only produced baby boys? The house murmured in agreement. So why is it now that whenever this wench came into our lives, that tradition has been broken? Have you forgotten about tradition? Have you forgotten that girls are a bad omen? We don't do that here. In fact, I'm so convinced that this is a curse that I'm pretty sure that baby isn't even John's. What did you just say? You heard me. Tell us, Mia. Is that John's baby? Of course it's my baby. I want her to answer. Listen here, Martha. I'll do you one better. I'll get you proof that this baby is John's. But I want you to know that once I do, you will never be part of our lives again. Do you understand? Look, she's even threatening me. Sounds like a guilty conscience to me. John, let's get out of here. John and I angrily and awkwardly packed our things and proceeded to leave. A direct juxtaposition to what we were greeted with. We left with some family members urging us to stay and that we could talk about this. But this just made me angrier. Why aren't you guys defending us? You know that she's in the wrong and you don't want to call her out for whatever reason? Don't tell me to stay if any of you aren't willing to help us fight this woman's crazy allegations. The family turned silent, with a smirking Martha in the back. I left, giving her the evilest eye that I could muster. I was determined to prove her wrong and embarrass her in front of everyone. We made our way home. The drive was silent. I was too mad to even tell my husband I told him so. My mind was swirling with so many thoughts that I couldn't even speak. Once we got home, I didn't even feel like talking, but John was insisting. Let's talk about this. What is there to talk about? Your mother is crazy, and I told you that something was off about the whole encounter. How am I supposed to deal with her, John? And why weren't you fighting for me back there? What are you talking about? I was also upset. Maybe you were, but you definitely didn't fight for your family back there. I'm sick of feeling alone in all of this, John. Why don't you put your mother in her place? I know you can do it, but I guess you're scared. It's not easy, Mia. She is my mom. But she's crazy, John, and she's bad for Macy. I'm so sorry that you're in this position, but you're going to have to choose. Is it going to be your mom or your daughter and I? I need some time to think, okay? To say that this broke my heart even further would be an understatement. I didn't know what to do. It seemed like my whole life was falling apart, and I felt so guilty for bringing this beautiful girl into this cold and dark world. She was meant to be with a family that loved her enough to stand up for her, but it seemed that in every direction I turned, we either received active malice and hatred, or nonchalance and indifference. Neither situation was better than the other. Macy deserved unconditional and full love, but for some reason I was the only one who could see that. At that moment, my sadness was accompanied by anger, which is what fueled me to keep going. Had I just been a sad and sobby mess, I wouldn't have managed to exact my revenge on that wicked old woman and everyone else who doubted me. I had gotten DNA samples from both John and Macy, and I went to the hospital to have them tested out. I also had John tell Martha that I had done this. There was no way I was calling her out of my own volition. John would report that Martha was convinced that the results would come back negative, and I was just waiting for the day that she would eat her words. The result came back a couple of days later, and I didn't even bother opening the document as I already knew the truth. I told John to tell his mother that I got the results and that she should come over so that we can open the document together. She practically sped over to our house, eager to try and prove me wrong because she had convinced herself that she was right. Once she arrived, that's when I did the needful. What both John and Martha didn't know is that I had gotten those hidden cameras and mic systems and placed them in the living room where we were to sit down and squash her silly doubts once and for all. "Hello, Mia. Let's get this over with. Where is the child? You won't even call her by her name. You won't even acknowledge that she's a she. Let's just cut the chit-chat and get right into it. That's why you came over, right? Fair enough. I can't wait to see your face. You're so convinced that you're correct, aren't you? Why would you even go through all of this trouble just to be proven wrong? John, can you please tell your mother to back up out of my face before I do something I'll regret? Oh, scary. I want to reiterate that once you find out that your son, a Capito, has had a daughter, I never want to see you again, and you will subsequently lose the right to see anybody I love and care about, especially Macy. Yeah, whatever. And when the results come out negative, which I know they are, you're going to get divorced and excommunicated from this family. And once my gardening group and golf group hear about this, your name will be ruined. Those ladies know how to talk. You'll be the talk of the town before the sun sets. I will swear it. We'll see about that. John began to open the letter and read. In the case of John Capito and Macy Ashley Capito, there is a 99.99% chance that there is a relationship between the two parties. What? This can't be. You may proceed to leave this home effective immediately, Mom. I will be removing you from the will, and you can do the same for me. Mia, wait. John, wait. The proof is all here, Mama. You messed up big time. Mia, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I was so wrapped up in believing that you were wrong that please. Nope. Mia, please. I'm a pleading grandmother. Please. I'll get on my knees and beg if you want to. I have to see my granddaughter. Where is she? That is none of your concern. You are no longer welcome in this house, and if you don't leave in the next 30 seconds, I'm calling the police. No, please, you can't do that. Yes, I can. I'm getting a restraining order against you, and you will be required to stay as far away from me as possible. I highly recommend you leave now because you've used up your 10 seconds. John, help me. I'm afraid I can't do that, Mom. I'm here with Mia. I'm standing up for my family. I didn't do enough of that before, and Mia, my love, I'm so sorry for not being the man you needed at the time. But I'm here now. It's going to take me some time to lean on you like that again, babe, but I accept your apology. Oh, come on. How was I supposed to know? We've had this tradition for years. I'm sorry if I got a little paranoid. You call my daughter an abomination and a monstrosity. What sort of mother would let the likes of you anywhere near her? Even if it was all just a misunderstanding as you're trying to frame it, we all know the truth. You're a toxic, sick, and twisted woman. And by the way, It's not going to be my name that's ruined. You see that pillow over there? Notice the blinking light? What? What are you talking about? Are you recording me? I swear to God, Mia, you better delete that. You see, I could, but this is all already being live streamed, so deleting it won't do anything. Martha snatched the camera, but it was far too late. I checked on my phone and the video itself already was gaining hundreds of views. With people commenting on how awful Martha was, I showed it to her and her face began to crumble. Her entire social status and all of the privileges she got due to her name were going to be muddied by this debacle. Thank God for the fast-paced notoriety that can be gained due to social media. As was promised, I ensured that I got a restraining order for my daughter and me against her crazy grandmother, and she tried her best to violate that, mourning the loss of the potentially great relationship she could have had but chose to throw away. As for John and I, we're working on rebuilding our relationship after this. But I'm just glad that he could now see the light and see that I was right all along. My mother-in-law might have stolen such a joyous moment for me, but I swear on everything that she won't take any more moments away ever again.